Welcome to the Black Educated Tea podcast where we have conversations on how Black women navigate through life and education. I'm your host, Makeda Marie. I'm a life coach and strategic consultant. In this safe space and in this podcast, we have conversations on how we balance and navigate through life, education, corporate America, entrepreneurship, motherhood, love, just so many topics. It's just endless. Please join us for the Black Educated Tea podcast so you can be a part of these magnificent conversations. Welcome to the Black Educated Tea podcast. I'm your host, Makeda Marie, and today the topic of discussion is love. But, as always, before we get into the topic, let's get into the tea before we get into the tea. So today I am drinking a love tea. I mean, it only fits perfectly. We're talking about love. So I'm consuming some love over here. So my tea is a love tea, and it has different components. It has chamomile, it has raspberry leaf in it, and of course some other things as well. And raspberry leaves are really good. They're really beneficial in so many different ways. And I like the flavor of it as well. So I'm drinking love tea, really good tea. I added a little bit of, vanilla, just a drop of vanilla to it and some honey, and it's really good. So caffeine free, of course. So I am drinking a love tea. So let's go ahead and get into the topic of love. Oh man, love is one of those. I read something years ago, and it was like love is the most addictive thing that any of us will probably ever encounter in life, which is probably very much true. So how do you love? What do you love? Who do you love? There's so many different ways you can look at love. How do you love yourself? Most importantly, that is the key. How do you love yourself? Because how do you love yourself, or how you love yourself, really influences and shows how you can love others. And that's how I typically look at it. How do I love myself? And if I love myself in a way that I'm respectful of myself, and I, make sure that I treat myself in a good way, I'm eating healthy things, and I'm partaking in healthy conversations and, healthy environment, 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to love those around me in the same way. But if I'm living in a toxic and negative environment, and if I'm consuming things that are not beneficial for me, and if I'm not respectful to myself, how could I possibly respect others? So how do you love yourself? And as I always say, everything looks different for everybody. There's no one particular way that you could love yourself or love others, and everybody loves differently. Please know that. There's a book called The 5 Love Languages, because everybody loves it differently. And there's actually more than 5. But this book really just touches on, how everybody takes in love, receive love, or even give love. So, and it looks different for everybody. For me, I'm more of... At first, I thought it was more of like the gifts. If somebody gives me gifts, that means they love me. But now I'm more of words of affirmation. I'm more of, what you say to me. I'm still action too, because you can say one thing, but your actions may be totally different. But I'm more of a words person. Me being a Capricorn, that's probably not all cases for every Capricorn. But for me, I am definitely one of those people. I will listen to and take in everything you say. So you have to be mindful of what you say to me, because I will never forget it. I will always remember it because of how it made me feel, or when did you say it, or how did you say it. So I'm definitely a words of affirmation type person. I am huge on words and action as well, because you can say one thing, but your actions have to follow. But, how do you love? How do you love yourself? And it varies. It really varies. But like when I'm in a state of depression, or when I'm not feeling too good about myself, when I have those imposter syndrome thoughts, more than likely the love that I give out is going to be a reflection of those thoughts on how I'm feeling about myself. And I always tell people around me that, if I'm having a down moment and I'm not just feeling so good about myself. Please, please, please don't take it personally if, I'm not being supportive or I'm not giving you the effort that I would normally give you. I just don't have it in me to give right now. And one of the most important things is just communication. So when you have those moments where you are just down, you're feeling depressed, or you're grieving, or, you just lost a job or whatever it is. And then if you don't have it in you to give the love you would normally give, let those around you know, like, man, I'm really going through something right now. I'm going through a transformation and, I'm grieving and I'm just feeling really down and sad about myself right now. So please just don't take it personal when my actions or my thoughts reflect how I'm feeling. Because bottom line, we are all human beings. And if we are feeling a certain way, if we're, grieving and down, our actions are going to reflect that. Our thoughts are going to reflect that. So the things that we say, even if we're not trying to be hurtful, but if you're really down, the things you may say may, show in that way. Your actions may even show in that way. So just let people know that, man, I just lost my job. So, normally I can, be 110 and give you all the support and all the love that you need. Still going to, provide you the best love that I can, but I just cannot provide it all to you at this moment. And be okay with that. Please be okay with that. Stop letting people make you feel bad because you're letting them know, I just can't. I don't even have it. You can't give something you don't have. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So you cannot give somebody the love that you just may not have at that moment. And hopefully they will be respectful of that when you let them know. Like, usually I can love you at 110%, but I don't even love myself at 110% right now. So I can't. I just cannot give you 110% if I can't give that to myself. And when it comes to love, and when you look at how people love themselves, that's how they're going to love you. Let's just be real. So if they're not very loving to themselves, they're not going to be very loving to you. If you are not very loving to yourself, you're not going to be very loving to others. Because it starts with you first. How do you love yourself? How do you see yourself? Is what you're going to give out to other people. And it's not going to always be perfect. Like I say, because for me, at times I have, depression. I have those times where I just feel like, I don't look too good today. I don't feel too good about myself today. And my loved ones are usually going to encounter those feelings because that's just how I'm feeling about myself. But the thing is, don't sit in those frames, or don't sit in those moments where you're always just feeling down and you're feeling depressed about yourself and you don't love yourself as you should, because then that's how you're going to treat others around you. So please don't sit in those moments, but just be human enough to know that I am not going to always love perfectly, or I'm going to, miss the mark at times, because however I'm seeing and feeling about myself is what I'm going to give to others. But I would say love is such a powerful thing. It's one of the most powerful things ever. And we all view love in a different way. So you have to first love yourself before you can love others. And you have to know how do you like to receive love as well. Because if you're more of just maybe for instance, if you are a words of affirmation type person, but someone is showering you with gifts, you're going to appreciate it. You're definitely going to appreciate it. But if that's not a way of people showing love to you, communicate that to them. I really appreciate, the gifts that you buy. I really do. But you can just say a simple thank you. Or you can just write me a nice love letter or a nice note. So just let people know that. Because no one can read your mind. They do not know your love language if you don't tell them. So let people know what your love language is. But still be kind to yourself and be kind to others, because bottom line, we will not all love the same. But if someone is putting in the time and the effort to show you that they really do love you, just appreciate that, because they're not going to always be perfect with it. They're not going to always hit the mark, and they may not always do it exactly how you want them to. But if you know that they're putting in that time, they're putting in that effort, and they're going over and beyond to show you that they love you, just appreciate that. Please do. Just please appreciate it. But just still know that that person is human, just like you are. So don't be too hard on yourself if you're like, man, this person, I really love my wife. I really love my husband. I really love my kids. I love my friends. And, I even love this job or whatever it is. But, man, I missed it today. I missed the deadline at work. Or, man, I couldn't make it to my daughter's recital. Or, man, my husband really needed my support with this. And I just couldn't do it because I was sick. Or, man, I was just so exhausted. I couldn't even get out the bed. Please just have mercy on yourself to know that you're not going to always hit the mark with everything. But now if you continuously don't show up and don't be supportive and continuously missing deadlines and this and that, that's where the problems come. That's where the problem come, and people start to, kind of wonder, did this person really love me? Because their actions are showing, they're saying it, but their actions are, totally different. So don't let that be a continuous thing where you're continuously missing, out on opportunities to show someone that you love them. But have mercy on yourself when those moments where you're like, I'm not capable right now of giving you the love that you may want because I don't even have it in me. And just explain it. There's different ways you can explain it, but just be open and be real and be like, I cannot give something I just don't have at this moment. I cannot be 110% to you if I'm not even that to myself. So just, explain it to people and know what love means, know what love means for you and how you, want people to love you, because it starts with you. Like I said, love is a powerful tool. It's a powerful resource, one of the most powerful things that will ever exist. But know what love is for you, how you want to be loved. But always, always, always love yourself first before you can love anyone else. And as always, this is the Black Educated Tea Podcast.